Okay, so may issue sa Indonesia. Nagrarally ang taong bayan ng Indonesia laban sa Indonesian President na si Prabowo, no? Siya yung pumalit kay Joko Widodo. So, under the government present system ng Indonesia, ang president kasi ay 2 terms, 5 years. So, kung sa Amerika, ang president sa Amerika ay 2 terms, 4 years. Sa Indonesia, 2 terms, 5 years. So, 5 years, 5 years. So, si Joko Widodo, nag-2 terms siya na 5 years, 5 years. So, parang total nun 10 years. After kay Joko Widodo, ang pumalit ay itong si Prabowo. Pero under Widodo, naging Secretary of Defense itong si Prabowo. At si Prabowo, ang kanyang position under kay Widodo ay retired general kasi naging defense general, naging defense secretary din siya nung panahon ni Suharto. Balikan natin yung past ng Indonesia, no? Kasi ang Indonesia dumaan din sa dictatorship. 41 years of dictatorship. Pero dalawang tao yun. First, 1945 to 1957, si Sukarno ang unang nag-ala Ferdinand Marcos Sr. 45 to 57. And then, yung dating Major General ni Sukarno, nag-ala Enrile or nag-ala Ramos type na tinalikuran si McCoy para pumalit sa pwesto. So, Sukarno, okay, 1957, Suharto na Major General ni Sukarno, nag-lead sila ng kudita laban kay Sukarno. Kaya si Sukarno noong 1967 hanggang 1998, itinuloy niya yung dictatorship na inumpisan ni Sukarno. So ulitin ko si Sukarno ang first na naging diktador ng Indonesia from 1945 to 1957. Okay? Tapos yung Major General niya nagkudita na si Suharto, siya naman ang pumalit 1967 hanggang 1998. 32 years. Talo si McCoy kasi si McCoy 21 years, 'di ba? Ito naman 21 years. So grabe. 41 years of ano tawag nito? Dictatorship or authoritarian government. So nung na-establish or naibalik yung democracy nung 1998 onwards, doon na ginawa yung 2 terms na president na 5 years. Si Prabowo, tumakbo ng tumakbo, paulit-ulit na tumakbo, natalo. Tumakbo, nilabanan niya si Joko Widodo, natalo, nag-protest siya, hanggang sa ginawa na lang ni Widodo na defense secretary niya. Natapos yung term ni Widodo, hindi na siya pwede kasi 2 term na siya. Naging president na itong si Prabowo. So si Prabowo, may involvement kasi nung dictatorship ni Suharto, yung second na dictatorship rule, di ba? May involvement siya, may mga abuses na siya yung involved doon kasi general siya. Siya yung defense secretary nung time na yon. Pero nung kampanya niya, parang alam mo yun, parang tinatago niya yun or hindi naman tinatago pero parang dinidistance niya yung kanyang sarili doon sa kanyang involvement nung panahon ng dictatorship ni Suharto. But eventually, nanalo siya at kakaupo lang niya nitong last year, October 2024. So basically, 4 months pa lang siyang presidente. So ang problema, the same na problema sa Pilipinas. Alright? Kung titingnan natin yung government system ng Indonesia, may president, may vice president, almost the same. May president, may vice president, tapos merong upper house and lower house, the same din. So, meron siyang executive, legislative, at meron ding judiciary. Multi-party system din. Multi-party, may mga maraming parties, kumbaga. So, almost the same sa Pilipinas. Ano ibig sabihin nun? When it comes to budgeting, ganun din. Ang nagpapasa ng budget, yung Congress nila. Upper Congress and Lower Congress. Iba lang kasi yung tawag sa kanila. Sa atin Senate of the Philippines at House of Representatives. Although they call the lower house as House of Representatives din. Iba nga lang doon sa upper house, iba yung tawag nila, but the same. Ang problema, budget cuts. Di ba recently ang problema sa Pilipinas is yung budget cuts. Di ba? Binawasan yung PhilHealth, DOST, yung education, yung AFP. Tapos may mga insertion, nilagay nila sa ayuda at kung saan-saan. Tapos ngayon, 60% na ata ang nagastos doon sa 2025 na budget. 40% na lang natitira. Wala pang kalahating taon. So, ang problema is budget. Ang nagpasa ng budget sa Indonesia is Congress. So ngayon, nagrarally ang mga tao sa Indonesia. Ang sinisingil nila yung presidente. Ang nakakatawa sa Pilipinas, meron na nga tayong isyong ganito, ang sinisingil nila ay yung vice president. Ini-impeach yung vice president taliwas sa Indonesia na ang ina-account nila ay yung presidente. Na nagigets nyo yung point na ganun. Kaya nakakatawa kasi yung issue kay Vice President Sara Duterte nung 2023 pa yon. Pero meron tayong recent na issue which is yung insertion, even in as early as 2024 budget, may insertion na 26 billion na kaagad. Naulit lang ngayon at mas nakita natin ngayon na may anomaly kasi may mga blanco-blanco. So instead of questioning the president, ang kine-question nila ay yung luma pang kaso na meron pa tayong dapat na inaantay sa COA kasi may investigation naman ang COA. Luma na yun na 2023 pa yun pero meron tayong current na issue pero ang sinisingil nila, ang ini-impeach nila yung vice president. So nakita ninyo yung point. Panoorin natin itong sa Indonesia.
University students across Indonesia have staged massive protests against President Prabowo Subianto's policies, especially his intention to slash budgets. Thousands of Indonesian youths took to the streets in major cities on Thursday to join the protests named Dark Indonesia. The protests were set off by Prabowo ordering ministries and local governments to trim their budgets by 306 trillion rupiah, about $19 billion. Part of the money...
Grabe 19 billion US dollars. Grabe. Tinalo na yung ninakaw ni Mark... Ay, hindi pala. Mas grabe pala yung kay Marcos.
saved will be used to fund a free school meals program, a key policy promised by Prabowo, but students fear the sweeping cuts will also slash education spending.
Evaluations of the free meal program is needed because we believe it is ineffective and it demands huge costs. This free meal program is the main reason there's breaches in the state budget.
Protesters have handed 9 demands to the State Secretary Minister Prasetyo Hadi, including evaluating the meal program and opposition to expanding military influence. Hadi issued a statement saying he will study the demands and continue communicating. The students expect Hadi to respond by Saturday.
Okay, tingnan pa natin yung ibang balita.
Well, this is hardly the political honeymoon that President Prabowo Subianto hoped for just 4 months into his term. This protest is one of many taking place across Indonesia.
So, ang protesta nila ay nag-cut ng budget. Yung si President Prabowo ng Indonesia, nag-cut siya ng budget about 19 billion US dollars para i-direct doon sa programa niya. Kung si Duterte, drug war, di ba? Yung pinaka-main program niya. Ito, free meal. Para daw to address yung kagutuman. So, kung titignan natin, ano ba yung parang identical ng free meal sa Pilipinas? 'Di ba, ayuda? Oh, free meal, ayuda. Ang pinoprotesta nila, hindi mo ito mai-account eh. Unlike yung, halimbawa, yung 4-piece, systematically, makikita natin kung saan napunta, ilang pamilya napuntahan, ganito, ganyan. Pero yung ayuda, pag sinabi, ito ayuda, binigay namin ayuda, hindi mo siya ma-account. Hindi mo siya ma-audit. Kung sino ang nabigyan, kasi wala naman tayong record, basta ito binigay nila, ito yung budget, ayuda, yun na yun, period. This is the same with the free meal na program ng Pangulo. Pero sabi ko nga, ang hinahanap nila dito na accountable ay yung presidente, hindi yung vice president.
Week. And if you look a bit further up past those flags, that's where the police barricade is. Beyond there, you have Presidential Palace. So the mood at the moment here is a little bit tense. This could kick off a bit later if these students don't move away. Now, the reason they are here, budget cuts. President Prabowo has a very expensive free meals program for school students. It has good intentions. He's trying to reduce malnutrition growth stunting rates. But these students are very worried that the money for that is going to come from the education budget. They say Indonesia is entering a dark era.
Youngsters nowadays are actually saying that we should run away from this country. There's a lot of people that says that it's better for us to study abroad or to have some jobs abroad, looking for jobs abroad. So it is actually really concerning because people are... Well, we're not hating on Indonesia. We love our country so much. But we know that this country is in a dire situation.
Aside from the students, the austerity measures here have really affected a lot of civil servants. They've been told to cut down their meetings, their seminars, their work trips. We've even heard some cases of public servants who have been told not to use the elevators at certain times. In
another news,
satisfaction is mounting in Indonesia as students gather across the country to rally against the current Prabowo administration and its policies. It's the latest in a string of protests this week that have been dubbed Indonesia Gelap, or Dark Indonesia. For more on this, CNA's Saiful Ismail joins us live from Jakarta. Saiful, now protests, they have been taking place for days now. What are the students asking for in their demands to the Prabowo administration?
Well, Wei Su, the students have made a number of demands. They are protesting against Mr. Prabowo's new budget cuts, including to the education sector to fund his priority programs, including the free meal initiative. Now,
education, Kinat yung budget ng education para sa free meal daw.
Month, Mr. Prabowo issued a presidential instruction calling for more than $18 billion in cuts to state spending this year. More recently, Mr. Prabowo said he was eyeing even more savings over 40...
Halos yun, Halos 1 trillion. Pesos, pesos. Kung sa peso.
$5 billion through multiple phases of fiscal consolidation. Now, the students are demanding transparency and accountability in the free meal program. The program was launched on 6 January with the aim to distribute meals to more than 80 million students and other vulnerable groups, but the program has encountered problems since its launch. Several protesters cited concerns over food safety as one of the reasons for rejecting the free meal program following multiple incidents of food poisoning. Now, the government has assured the student protesters that the budget cuts would not impact the education sector, including scholarships. Instead, the policy aims to cut unproductive spending, such as ceremonial events. The public was also urged to give Mr. Prabowo's new administration a chance, noting that it would continuously look for solutions to address the challenges facing the nation. However, this plea fell on deaf ears among student protesters who remain unconvinced by the administration's promises.
Oh, not just students who are unconvinced. Saiful, Mr. Prabowo's own government, there is internal discontent as well.
That's right. Mr. Prabowo's austerity measures are affecting how his own government is operating. For example, one particular ministry had taken to switching off elevator power after hours to conserve electricity, forcing late working staff to take the stairs. Now, even though there are discontentment within the government, public servants are unlikely to take to the streets. The street demonstrations that we are witnessing now among the students are the first major protests facing Mr. Prabowo just over 3 months after taking office. This week's protests are also the fastest that any president has faced since taking office. An editorial in Jakarta Post today said that these protests should serve as a wake-up call for Mr. Prabowo's administration. The paper said barely 4 months into office, Mr. Prabowo was forced into his first cabinet reshuffle. On Wednesday, Mr. Prabowo replaced his higher education, science and technology minister who had landed in hot water due to a series of controversial policies. Now, observers said the cabinet reshuffle signals an acknowledgement of policy miscalculations. Others perceive the reshuffle as an attempt to appease the student protesters and to find someone to blame to address the fallout from gaffes and budget cuts. Now, the public discontent follows Mr. Prabowo's impressive 80% approval rating in January within his first 100 days in office. Political analysts...
Parang sa Pilipinas din yung may fake survey. Sabi 80%, despite all of this, tumaas pa rin daw yung approval rating nitong si Prabowo, pero sabi ng protester,
said Mr. Prabowo's administration should not be lulled into complacency by an inflated approval rating. This is because the reality on the ground could be far less reassuring.
Namun hal ini kan harus kita sampaikan ke publik bahwasanya tingkat kepuasan kepada Presiden Prabowo.
Ayan, sabi niya, we must convey this to the public that the level of satisfaction with the President Prabowo is still below 50%.
Masih di bawah 50%. Kalau tingkat...
If the satisfaction level was 80%, kasi taliwas doon sa binabalita ng government, maybe we would not be on the streets. Maybe public anger in the village did not take to the streets. Totoo nga naman, di ba, which is happening dyan sa Pilipinas ngayon. Yung mga survey na tumaas daw yung rating ni Marcos Jr. Weh.
Kepuasan itu 80%, mungkin kami orang ini tidak turun di jalan. Mungkin kemarahan publik di desa-desa tidak turun ke jalan. Ini buktinya sampai detik ini masyarakat masih turun ke jalan, masih menyuarakan untuk perbaikan Indonesia yang lebih baik.
Ayan, in another balita, tingnan natin.
Vowing to continue university students. Thousands of university students take to the streets across Indonesia, decrying the budget efficiency policies of the country's president, Prabowo Subianto, the 72-year-old former general who assumed the elected office just 5 months ago.
This policy has significantly impacted the livelihoods of civil society and also key human rights and law enforcement institutions.
Prabowo's budget efficiency policy aims to cut funding to various government institutions in the name of mitigating what it sees as wasteful government spending. Among the impacted sectors are education, health, and natural disaster prevention. Opponents argue that it will cut funding for scholarships, lay off government contractual workers, and discontinue key welfare programs for the poor. The budget cuts were justified as a way to fund a free meal program, the hallmark of Prabowo's presidential campaign. The program aims to combat malnutrition by providing daily nutritious meals to children and pregnant women. But critics call it wasteful and inefficient, pointing out its exorbitant budget and the simultaneous cuts to primary and secondary education. Analysts warn the cuts will have sweeping effects across society.
Budget cuts are also applied to different ministries and agencies. There could be a massive layoff in the future, which means that some parents would actually lose their jobs, while at the same time their children lose their scholarship.
During his presidential campaign, Prabowo distanced himself from his involvement in the country's dictatorial past and promised to usher in a golden era. Instead, public opposition to his policies has twisted that slogan in protest, with the hashtag #DarkIndonesia trending on social media. The movement eventually took to the streets, with student councils across the nation putting forward a list of demands, including that the government reassess budget slashes, the free meal program, and other large-scale projects.
Ayan yung demands ng mga protesters.
They also want the government to properly compensate teachers and implement pro-people policies by listening to input and criticism from the public. In response to protests, Indonesia's Secretary of State insisted that the budget cuts will not affect the education sector. But the demonstrators are still awaiting an official response from government, vowing to continue protesting for the rest of the week. Hank Chu and Gino Lopez.
Ayan. So, identical sa nangyayari sa Pilipinas. Kaya lamang ho, abay, mukhang tinalo tayo dito ng kasi sa Pilipinas, halos kinukulong, ginagawa ng kaso, kinokontempt, winawanted, ginagawang terorista, alam yun, sinusuppress tayo sa Pilipinas. Pero dito nakita ninyo, very free, yung freedom ng nila. To the point na ito, dumaan to sa 41 years of dictatorship. So, hindi ko alam kung dito ba natuto si Marcos Sr. o halos lahat ata ng bansa may ganitong karanasan. But anyway, ito very identical sa nangyayari. Budget cut, kinat sa education, inilagay sa free meal, which is sa Pilipinas, ayuda. So dito tayo, tumutok din tayo dito. Tignan natin kung paano nila ginagawa yung pagkikipaglaban. Ang nakakatawa nga ito dito, sabi ko nga, sa Pilipinas, ang ina-account, ang sinisingil, ang gustong i-impeach, patanggalin, yung Vice President na hindi naman siya yung leader ng bansa natin. Especially dyan sa BICAM scam na yan. Sa Indonesia, ang sinisingil ay yung presidente. Nakakatawa, di ba?